Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Kerbal Space Program. What are we going to do now? Last time you were here, we did a flyby, and now we are going to launch a space station. Now, this is going to be a slightly different space station. We're going to design it with the intention of eventually traveling to other planets with it. We're going to load it up with tons of fuel and RCS, and we're going to give it landers, and it's going to have some crew modules and a few other things like that. Now, the first part of this station, we're going to launch with just a Probodobodini QBE. Right. Just this thing. We're going to use this to get it up there because we're just going to launch the core of the space station for now. And as you can imagine, we're going to use the... Wait, there's a small version. How entertaining. Actually, what we're going to use is the Rockle-Max HubMax multi-point connector. It's quite a useful piece of kit for constructing stations and other things, whatnot have you, things like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to launch the core of the space station itself. Now, this isn't the final configuration, but I'm just kind of screwing around here. Now, if I attach this like so, can I hit... No, symmetry does not apply to the Rockle-Max hub connector. Now, that does actually make a good bit of sense because you can get some very weird interactions between various vessels when they're attached like that. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to expand that out a little bit on the four sides because that would, well, otherwise you have to wind up docking things really, really close. And you kind of don't want that. So we're going to head into utility, I think it is. Here we go. And clampotronic docking ports. We're going to use the regular clampotrons, I think. What's the difference here between these, actually? Like, for instance, what are you? Are you a regular-sized clampotronic docking? You're a regular-sized port, right? So if I were to deploy you, you would be the same size as this thing. Yes, I do believe that that is correct. There is no junior shielded port for whatever reason. I think that there probably should be, but I don't see them. Now, what have we got? We've also got an inline clampotron port. Now, those are rather entertaining. I could see them coming in handy in certain situations, but that's not going to be. I'm not going to be putting any of those on the hub. The hub doesn't need those. However, because I can and because it looks neat, I am going to use the shielded clampotrons because their weight increase is practically negligible. Alright, so put you there. We've got that, and I'm going to be a little bit weird here. No. There we go. And I'm actually going to... Come on. No. Come on. Is that right? Oh, I guess that is right. Okay, and I'm actually going to line them all up. So, we need to orient you. Come on. There we go. Took me a little too long to do that. Nope, not that one. Not that one. There we go. There. Just like so. Now they're all lined up and neat and pretty. Neat and pretty. Neat and pretty. We're going to, of course, install a few of these. And what in the world are you doing? Oh, is that how the symmetry is going to work when I'm attached to the clampotron? That's entertaining, actually. Quite entertaining. Okay, but simply put, we're going to be using singular installations here, and I'm just going to star this thing out so that it works desirably. Okay, fairly simple and straightforward. This is going to be the primary hub for our vessel. Now, what we're going to need to do here, let go. Why can't I let go? Why am I not allowed to? There it goes. That was weird. Okay, alrighty then. So I'm going to first... Alright, so what I need to do with you is I want to be able to detach you and then decelerate you and send you back into... No, not the big one. There we go. I want to be able to send you back, but I need you to be nice and light so that I can conserve as much weight as possible here. So we'll do that, plus, and where's the regular SAS module? There we go. One SAS module, like so. All right, and now to actually attach you to the vessel, we're going to use Clampotron docking ports. How does that work, you may ask? Interestingly enough, you can actually... Nope, not the junior one. You can connect docking ports together, like so, and then if I grab the whole thing... Or no, and then I can attach this to the docking port, like so. There we go. Now I can detach from this docking port. We're going to be installing some very, very few items here. What we're going to do is... This is going to be... These four things are going to be fuel. That's basically it. They're going to be fuel, fuel, and more fuel. We're not going to have anything else. Up here, we're going to first attach a... well, that's going to be where our rockets are. We're going to pull this thing in kind of a train-like fashion because they can be very, very squirrely and unstable if you try to do it any other way. Now, if I go into... I think utility is actually where I want to be here. Strut gun. A radial strut gun for attaching and detaching struts when needed. I'm not sure. Is that what I'm looking? I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Here we go. A quantum strut. Highly experimental quantum strut that harnesses a form of quantum locking to add support for docked vessels. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to function, but what I'm going to want to do is... we don't want two. We want one. No. Okay, that's kind of neat, but no. One. Alright. So we're going to attach you here. And then... Is it even tipping the right way? I can't tell. No, definitely not tipping the right way. However, I think that is the correct direction. So, yes. Okay, that's what we want. We're going to want to attach to the module itself that's actually going to be pulling. So, we'll attach another one here over on this side. Make sure that that's going the right way. Is it even moving? No. How about now? Here we go. Okay, I want it to be right about there, yes? Which, if I got that lined up correctly, their intersection point should be straight over. Good. Okay, that's... I think that's correct. Yeah, that's about as close to correct as I'm going to get. Okay, so add another one. And I have no idea how these work, as I probably have said a half dozen times now. But we'll find out, I suppose. So, how about that way? I believe that was the right way. Right about there. Good. Okay, one more. Uno more. Alright, gotta look at it from the side, make sure I'm getting the right angle here. Not that way. Okay, there we go. I believe that is what I am looking for. Now, it's difficult to be sure at this point, so what we're going to do is we're going to call you... First, we're going to name you the station core. And now I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to grab some fuel tanks and install them like so. Okay, and now the lights have turned blue. I'm not sure what that means. Save. Oh, wait, abort, cancel. Hang on. There is something I forgot. Utility, quantum strut. Okay, the quantum strut requires electricity. Of this I am aware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few battery packs, just 4 of them, for the sake of just in cases. Where are the solar panels? No, I want the extendable solar panels because I don't want them to be active unless I tell them to be active. And again, the duplicator is being funny, but whatever. Okay, so we'll... Oh, wait. Maybe I do want to duplicate them. We'll put that back on there, and we'll install them right there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, save and launch. Clear the launch pad and proceed. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. Come along, then. Okay, so it's the middle of the night. That's entertaining. Give it a second here. Okay, now if we check our resources, you can see the ever so microscopic drain from the probodyne control module that we have currently sitting in there. So it will very, very slowly pull down on that fuel, not enough to really affect what we're doing here. Now, if I select, deactivate. Ah, this is entertaining. So that is technically strutted. So if I deactivate that, and then deactivate that. Aha! Would you look at that? It bounced. So if can I use the SAS to get it rocking or something? Not really. Hang on. End flight, vehicle assembly, building. Let us, for the sake of the sheets and the giggles, we're going to attach some linear RCS thrusters, 4 of them to be exact, and we're going to add a little RCS fuel. Where's the RCS fuel? Here we go. There. Save launch. There. Okay, now, let's see how well these things actually work. So when they're blue, they are successfully attached to an item. So, again, I gotta run around and deactivate them all. Oh, no, the strut. Here we go. Okay, now, if I activate the RCS fuel, I should be able to get this thing to wobble pretty good. Not too bad. Alright, keep that up while I get a hold of this, and then right about now. Aha! It just grabs right on. Doesn't let go. So we can activate that one, and this one, and the third one, and the fourth one. And it goes from being a wobbly thing to incredibly stable. That's not bad. The whole thing is moving. Well, not quite. It's definitely attached really well because the only thing shifting around is the core here. This is good. This means that we've done everything properly. However, that does point out a rather unique thing. I may need to add some more strutting just to connect from there to there. I don't know. Okay. End flight. Vehicle assembly building, please. Alright, so this should work. I do like where this is going. You can all come off. We should probably add a power source for our little thing. We don't need that many batteries. In fact, we'll do 2 for balance's sake. And then we need a power source. Where's the power sources? Where's the power sources? Ah, here we go. One one PB nuke radioscope thermoelectric generator. Right. One of those should be fine. It produces 60 a minute. So that's basically 1 a second. And this thing was barely consuming 0.03, something like that. 0.03, 0.04 with the quantum struts running. They may consume more power when the quantum struts are actually active, or when they're having to actually fight. I don't know. It's difficult to tell on such a small craft. Now, I am going to add a power module to this thing later. But for now, what I'm going to do is we're going to take you down a little bit here, and we're going to put some SAS modules on it. Just regular old SAS modules attached like so. And then I'm going to put another one on the bottom. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to put an advanced SAS module on the bottom. Actually, I've changed my mind again. We're going to take that off. We're going to attach this here because this attachment is going to be strained as it is. I don't want to go and overdo it. Even though I know that it's going to be overdone anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm probably going to wind up breaking it somewhere along the lines. Probably multiple times. What I'm going to do instead is I want to add some more SAS modules here. So I'm going to take you guys and separate you here. And I'm going to add 4 SAS modules to the sides here. Like so. Because I know we're going to need some pretty serious SAS to keep this thing from wobbling around while I am attempting to dock with it. Okay, there we go. And by some miracle, I managed to get all but 1 lined up. Okay, there we go. Close enough. Alright, so now let's reattach you guys. And entertaining. It would appear that the struts are going to reattach themselves quite successfully. Neat. Now that does put these guys up a little bit higher up. Quite a bit higher up. That might actually be too high up. Okay. What we need to do is check. We kind of have to make sure that our... oh, great. You won't let go again. Why won't you let go? Why are you being weird about my height when I try to let go of you? You are just weird. Okay. So we need to make sure that we're going to be able to attach properly here. So we're going to use a jumbo... Do we want to use a jumbo fuel tank? I don't know. I mean, we may have to use a jumbo fuel tank here to do this properly. See, now those all they attach right there. Maybe not. See, I don't want to use a jumbo fuel tank because I'm already going to be putting a ton of weight on it with all the engines. So if we can get away with using a regular fuel tank, and then we need a Rockomax brand adapter, as well as a Clampotron docking port, like so. And now we will attach you. Now where do those lines wind up intersecting? Well, I guess that answers that question. It's actually going to cause me some grief. Well, it looks like I just have to adjust these a hair. So, I believe it was this way? Yeah, that was correct. Alright. Their orientation, or rather the symmetry, appears to be based upon their attachment to the central hub here now. So it has very interesting qualities when it comes to symmetry. And I cannot say that I dislike them. I happen to be thinking that it's a very, very good symmetry system. It really is. Huh. Neat. Alright, so since these quantum struts really do not appear to have a problem attaching themselves to practically anything, I'm going to attach these quantum struts here. Where are you facing? What are you attached to? I wanted you to be like attached to this thing. Why are you all the way out there? That's kind of weird. Okay, and now can I do quad duplications here? I can try, but apparently it's not going to actually work. Creepy. Okay, so we're going to just do a few singulars here. Make sure that you're actually in an appropriate location and center it. Just add a few more quantum struts here to the center pieces. This is a good, I like this idea because this is going to quantum strut our central core directly to the fuel tank, which is going to be directly attached to, why are you being all weird? It's going to be directly attached to the engines, which should help to keep this thing much more stable. Okay, seriously, where are you? What are you doing? I can't see the Strut! Ah! Why is it all sucked up inside? I can't see where it is. Oh, this is not good. Can I just like attach them up here? So if I attach it up here and I do 4 of them, it's kind of facing off on a funny angle. Okay, you know what? Whatever. That'll work. Since you guys are going to be all weird, we'll have to attach them instead to this thing. But I'm getting ahead of myself here because this is going to be the fuel module for later. Or, well, not the fuel module. That's going to be the engine part module. I gotta remember to line everything up properly so that they're in the center gaps here and they don't cause burnout problems. That's going to be very easy to accidentally do. Nope, no copies. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, so that's our central hub module. It's got SAS, it's got advanced SAS, as well as a few other things. Alright, now we are going to need to send some Kerbals up with this thing, because if we don't, well, then weirdness happens. But how are we going to get them into it? This may have to be a second vessel, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, so, you know what? Let's just save this, and we'll make a new one. We'll come back to this later. Because we actually going to have to launch something else first. New. First, we actually need to launch a crew module. Because without any crew, it's kind of hard to control it. Now, we've got the Mark II Mun lander can. Lightweight, don't expect it to survive atmosphere entry or even a sneeze. It's a very lightweight thing, to say the least. So, crew capacity 2. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay, so I'm actually going to come back over here, and I'm going to grab a second one. Why are you all weird? Can I turn it upside down? Huh. That... Okay. And what's the command pod look like? The command pod looks like that. So, wait a minute. What about that? Huh. I don't know. Nah. We're just gonna do it like so. And then we'll put a shielded docking port on the top, like so. Okay, so that'll bring us 2 Kerbals in here, as well as 3 extras in here. And what we will do is we will send up excess Kerbals occasionally, and we will fill up these crew modules with some of those Kerbals, choosing from the best and the brightest as we go. If we're lucky, maybe we can get more than 1 Jeb. I doubt it highly. Okay, so we've got the Munlander can, which is going to give us 2 crew. And now we're going to need... What else should we bring here? What's this? That is an appropriately sized fuel tank. Funny enough. It's totally not a swimming pool's frame we stole from their back lot. Ha. Alright, so we're going to send it up with a significant supply of RCS fuel. That's basically what this is going to be. This is going to be our supply of RCS fuel and Kerbals. RCS fuel and Kerbals. Yeah. Alright. So now we need a... No. We need a big decoupler here, man. A big one. No. A big one. Yeah. Yes. That. That is what we need. Good. Alright. And now we're going to use jumbo fuels. Sweet. Okay, I need to grab this thing and bring it up here because I need more room to work with down on the bottom. Alright, now, do we have... No, we don't. Control. We need an SAS and we need an advanced SAS. We're going to need those on this. Or are we? Or are we? I don't think we are, actually. No, no, no. What we're going to do is we're going to use some RCS thrusters. We need quad, and I can't put it right there because it'll screw with the thing. It will actually say, no, you can't do this. This does not work. You won't be able to open the hatch and get in and out. They'll be permanently trapped inside. Alright, so... Oh, you know what? If I take this off and I use... no. Yes, center of mass. I can see exactly where the center of mass is on this thing, and this is what it's going to look like when it lands up there. Maybe not. That's kind of ugly. Well, then again, it is just supposed to be a crew module. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll add a Rockomax brand adapter, and we will actually throw a regular Clampotron on there, and then attach that like so. Now this does, however, mean we're going to need to use some strut connectors from here to here. You know what, just to be safe, let's go with 6. Why you be weird? Why are you being weird? Okay, fine, fine, whatever. That works. That works. Okay, so that will leave us with the Clampotron on the bottom in case we actually do decide to add something else to the bottom of this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we do. But now what I need to do is I need to take you off so that I can establish where the center of mass is, and it appears to be up higher. So we're gonna put you as high as we possibly can. And why are you in a 6 configuration? We don't want a 6. We want a 4. Okay, there we go. And that should actually be basically all that we need here. By centering them in the mass, what I'm doing is I'm preventing it from causing impacts on its direction of travel when all it's trying to do is stabilize itself. Yeah, that ought to do it. I am considering... Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to actually do that. Wait, no, I don't. No, I don't, because this is going to be a central module. It's not going to... Right, it's going to be the first module, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright, so now we're going to go into propulsion. We're going to use the jumbo fuel tanks, and because my top module is actually very light, very small, and not at all heavy... Wait a minute. My brain is making points. My brain is making points. Okay, so we can get it into space, but we need to make sure that we can, you know, get it into a reasonable orbit. We've got to navigate this thing into orbit using everything we've got attached here. So how are we going to pull that off? Well, I'm thinking what we should do here is... Yeah, okay, so let's do this. We'll use 4 side mount clamps as well as some of these fuel tanks. That's going to require us to add SAS modules to the top of here. Won't worry about the advanced SAS. I do not think those will be necessary on this thing. I'm going to be controlling it largely manually, and I don't have to dock with something at the end. I just have to get it to stand still. So we'll cap these off so that they're aerodynamic, because that does actually affect the flight of your ship. And now we're going to add atomic rocket motors. Right? See, their ISP in vacuum is 800, so they burn a lot less fuel for a significantly higher amount of thrust. There are other options, being the liquid fuel engine here, which is this guy. His maximum ISP is 370, which actually isn't that bad. This guy's also a 370. Where is the aerospike? The aerospike is a 390, and he's actually a really good one because he burns at the lower altitude. But you can't stand on him. You can't. It just busts. It breaks. Period. It's not gonna work. It's a cool rocket motor. I'll give it that. Engine's max power 175. What's the maximum power on the nuclear engine here? 60. You know what? That should be fine. I've got 4 of them. And then we'll just attach them all like so. Good. And now those will all separate. We got this all set up properly. That splits. No, actually, we want you to be here. We want to split that off. Then we want to fire these. Then we want to jettison. Then we want to jettison them. And then our objective from that point forward will be to... Well, that's basically it, I think. Oh, but then my brain does something else. That's going to put more space debris. You don't want more space debris, do you? You're already putting a shit ton of it in the atmosphere. And that's already driving you nuts. Alright, fine. Be that way. Bloody. So we'll put this tank here. Gonna take you guys, drop you down, and attach you to this thing, like that. Good. And now if I go to pods and add a protobody, no, I can't put it down there. That's disappointing. Okay, so we'll take this off. Really? What about this one? That still looks funky. We'll go put one there. One there. And then cap it off again. Gonna have to cap them all off individually now. I have to keep at least some semblance of balance here or I go insane. Yeah. Okay, so that'll work. Right? Right? That'll work? Sort of. Structural, we're going to need a larger stack. We're going to need another large stack decoupler here. And then the big ass fuel tank. So the idea is to use the big ass fuel tanks to get into, no, there we go, into an orbit, and then it's not going to work. I have to use a longer one because I need more space down below it. Alright, so we got main sail engine like so. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now where is our separation sequence? We've got you separating there, and then you're separating up here, but that is not actually what we want here. We want these engines to fire in between, or do we? No, wait, we don't. That is correct. We want to separate this. No, brain fart. We want to separate this. Then we want to fire these engines, and then we want to use these engines to establish it into its appropriate pattern, and then we want to separate it. And then we want to separate it just like that. And then once that's separated, we want to navigate this thing back to the planet, which it should be able to do because it's got these on it. And then the separations are just kind of null. They're not really needed, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Now, the thing we need to do is get this sucker into orbit. So, if we go over to structural again, grab the big radial decoupler, which has the same impact tolerance as the other ones. Although, oddly enough, it weighs less. That's interesting. So why is this one... This one will stick them away from the craft a little bit, so I think I'm actually going to use these. So we're going to use a dual double duplication or symmetry, and then we're going to come over here, and we don't want to do 4. We want to line up on a 6. So that should be right about here, like so. And then if I take another one, oh, there's a small version. Sweet. That small parts pack is just awesome. And like that, we should get a nice even 6. All right, good. Now we're going to need fuel. I'm just going to remember where that central dot is. And then put the mouse right over it to try and line them up as best we can. Okay. And then the last one. I lost it. Right there. Okay, good. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with adding a bunch of fuel on top of these. But I'm going to try it. If it doesn't take off, we will know that we just need to remove some of these extra fuel tanks here. It's not a very big deal. And then on the bottom of these, we'll add more of the Rockomax mainsail liquid engines. Score. Good. Okay, and now we need to add some strutting. No, wait. Before we do struts, I need to establish their order of release. So, I need to get fuel going. First, we're going to fuel from here to here. And then for those of you who are wondering, this is what is called the asparagus stack. Or it has been dubbed the asparagus stack. And then we do like so. Alright, so we have all 6, nope, we want all 7 engines burning at the same time. Now first we got this one. Alright, so we're going to add another one. you come down here. Wait, why are you by yourself? I want you in there. That's what we want. Okay, all 7 engines at the same time. Now, this one is the one going into the fuel, so this is going to be the one that runs out of fuel first. So if I hover over here, I should light up its decoupler. Good. Okay, now we need to light up the next decoupler, which appears to be this one. You separate also at a different... Nope, come on. Get down in there. I don't know why the thing does that. And then last but not least, you separate. Correct? Good. Alright, so that'll separate. And then we got another 2 fuel tanks for the Rockomax to burn through before it empties out. I hope that this is sufficient to get me into the atmosphere. Difficult to say. Alright, so now we're going to go structural and navigate to this one. Okay, so this is going to be the finally attached one. So we need to make sure that it is fairly well secured, and I need to go closer in before it'll work its thing here. There we go, because it's going to be the last one removed. So if we make sure it is secure and then attach the rest of the tanks to it, we should see a at least somewhat reasonable amount of stability. So we're going to attach, like, wait, did I forget to grab one? I did forget to grab one. Okay, so we grab that and then attach like so. Good. Okay, so now that that has been stabilized, we will attach everything to that. First and foremost being here, and then like so, like that, and like that. Now, as a final step, in order to counteract the upward thrust that I know is going to happen here, these are, again, these are struts to help make sure that they do their thing properly. Good. Alright, and now for you guys, I'm actually going to have to be a little bit funny. I'm going to do it over on the side here and attach like so, in order to prevent myself from attaching to these, which would probably just cause all kinds of problems down the road. Make sure everything is lined up properly, and we are almost good to go. The last thing we need to do here, now that we have established our launch order properly and everything is properly connected, I believe, is we need to use the launch stability enhancer. For a vehicle this big, without a stability enhancer, it's probably just going to die a horribly painful death. Now I'm going to put them at the center of gravity, just because I feel like that is probably a good idea. I don't know if it actually is or not. I've never really seen it affect anything, but it seems like that would be an intelligent place to put them. Now we're way up off of the ground here. It doesn't really matter, if I'm completely honest. I mean, it's like an extra, what, 100 meters maybe? Whatever. Okay, so that is it. Let us name it the RCS and crew module, because that's what it is. It's an RCS and a crew module. A couple of big ass RCS tanks and spare storage space for extra crew members. Good. Okay, so let us see if we can actually get this thing up into space. Nope, guess not. Sorry guys, no launch for you. That's going to have to wait until next time, because we have run out of time. We are at the limit of our time frame here thing, unfortunately, sadly, and no. Oh well, sorry guys, you're gonna have to wait to see this launch next time. Fortunately, with that one, we might actually be able to do 2 launches because I'm halfway through constructing the other ship. Isn't that awesome?